everybody. Welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome to our Facebook Live. It is November 17th. Wow. Okay. This year has just flown by. And for those of you who are new, welcome. Again, my name is Pam Palanza. I am a parenting mentor, and I focus on common sense behavior management for neurotypical children aged 2 to 12. So do me a favor. It says my video is starting. Who knows if it actually is? I've had some internet problems this morning, but go into the comment section, say hello, and tell me where you're from. I love seeing where everybody is from. And I'll tell you, we did a webinar on Thursday night on how to stop yelling and start connecting. And there were people from 18 different states and from Canada in there. So I really love seeing that. Okay. We're going to talk about 5 things today that your child needs from you more than anything. Now, besides food, clothing, shelter, love, that kind of stuff, okay? 5 things that if you are doing on a regular basis in your home is creating, it's going to change the atmosphere. You're going to see better behavior in your children. You're going to see a deeper connection. All of these are things that we kind of talked about in the webinar in more detail. And for those of you who missed it, if you're interested in getting the replay, you can go to my website at PamelaPalanza.com. Hit at the top of the page. There's a banner right there, and you can just get it there, get the link to purchase it. Lots and lots of valuable tips, tricks, tools, things that you can use. So let's dive in on this, and I'm hoping this is a recording. If anybody is out there, say hello, because I'm just at a spinning cycle here. So it could be we are in internet purgatory right now, and Wi-Fi purgatory. Let me click on this for a minute, see if I can get anything going here. Okay, I'm going to just keep talking here. All right, so the first thing, and I preach this all the time. In fact, all of these things I preach all the time, actually. And I think I probably need, again, just like tattooed on my forehead or my arms or something, so I can just point to them when I do my reels, because I talk about these so much. Okay, the first one is consistency. And it is so important you are consistent with your children in your expectations of their behavior, in the rules in the house, in how you react to them, in how you respond to their behaviors, okay, how you conduct yourself as a parent. All of that consistency is the magic wand of parenting. And I wish I had a wand to wave here, but it is the magic wand of parenting. And it's so, so important. And it's something that's easy to do most of the times, right? But consistency is like the underpinning of your parenting. Children feel safe when they know consistency, when they know what's coming next, when they know how you're going to react or how you're going to act, when they know what's expected of them. That consistency gives them that security. They feel safe. They know they can trust you. They know that you say what you mean and mean what you say, and they can believe it, okay, because you're consistent. It's not like 1 minute you're calm, the next minute you're reacting and you're screaming. Or 1 minute you tell them they can do something, then the next minute you're like, you know what, never mind, we can just, bedtime's 8 o'clock, 9:30's fine, I don't care, whatever. Okay? You need that consistency with your children at all times. And it teaches them self-control, and they learn what the boundaries are, and they know what they can get away with and what they can't. And that's really important. Okay, second thing is connection. That connection with your child, that's not a luxury. That's a basic human emotion. Children need to feel respected and valued, and that they matter, and that they're seen, and that they're heard. So your connection with them, and it can be as little as 5 to 10 minutes a day. That's it. You, in the morning, while you're having breakfast before they go to school and you go to work, or you send them off to school. In the evening when it's bedtime and you're reading them a story or just chatting with them. When they come home from school, if you're a stay-at-home mom or dad and you're there, talk to them. Those few minutes of connection are powerful. And what will happen a lot of times is you're going to see a diminishing of inappropriate behaviors because you're connecting with them and they feel valued and they feel that they're seen. Now, here's what happens a lot of times. Kids act out. And parents are like, I don't know why they're acting out. Because you're not connecting with them. You're so busy going about your day, right? We have a lot of responsibilities as a parent, and I get it. Parenting is not easy all the time. And what happens is you are not connecting with your child. You think, well, they're here. I'm at the house with them. I picked them up at school. That's fine, but that's not actually connecting one-on-one with your child for 5 to 10 minutes a day, listening to what they have to say, laughing with them, playing with them. That is very powerful. Put your phones down. I know I preach this a lot. Put your phones down. Spend time with your child. Okay, structures and routines, so important. And you can have morning, afternoon, evening routines. You can create charts. We went over this in the webinar if you want to check that out there. But when your children know what comes next, they transition easier. They feel more confident because they know what they're going to do. Imagine if you went into work and you had no tasks laid out before you, no projects you had accomplished. You just went in and your boss was like, yeah, go ahead, do whatever. And you're like, what? It's very unsettling. Well, it's the same way with your child. I know I like consistency. I like to have that structure and that routines. And I find myself, if I don't, I sit at my desk and go, what am I going to do today? But if I have it all laid out, then I'm like, oh, I dive right in and I just get to it. If you notice, if your children have gone to childcare in early childhood classrooms, you will see a schedule on the wall for the teacher. But we always recommend, and when I did consulting with childcare centers for 20 years, always recommend a visual schedule on the wall for the children with pictures of what's coming next. So they could easily look at it and go, oh, we just had story time and now it's going to be time for lunch. They know what comes next. So when you say time to clean up, and you can point to the schedule, and you can do the same thing in your own home, right? And if you have those routines and those charts, and the children get used to this rhythm and this processes of what they're supposed to do next, especially like in the morning when you're trying to get out of the house and it's it's chaotic. You have those routines in place. It's going to make your house run a lot smoother. It's going to keep you calmer. And that's the next thing we're talking about is calm leadership. Calm leadership. Your child, you're the thermometer, your child's the thermostat. Now you're the thermostat, your child's the thermometer. They're going to mimic what they hear you doing and hear you say. That's what happens. So if you're a parent who yells or is abusive or freaks out easily over things, you're teaching your children that's how they need to respond. But if you stay calm, if you very clearly state what's happening next, if you follow through, which we're going to talk about in a minute, if you keep that calm leadership, your children will also be calmer and your household will be calmer. There is no need to be yelling at your children or always commanding. And I see that a lot. And people go, oh, you're gentle parenting. I don't gentle parent. I never did gentle parent. I was authoritative. Not authoritarian, authoritative. And I had things I expected. And that was it, right? And that's what they had to do. So when you stay calm, when your brain stays calm, your children stay calm. Okay? And then let's do follow through here because you know what? I say this all the time. If you don't do follow through, if you say I'm going to be consistent with my boundaries, I'm consistent with what I expect, but then you don't follow through with stuff, you're teaching your children you don't mean a thing that you say, not a thing. And they learn not to trust your word. And you don't make them feel safe and secure. You're kind of erratic. And they're like, today, what am I getting today? What mom or dad am I getting today? Okay, so you have to follow through with authority. Consequences teach your children cause and effect. Consequences are not always negative. People go, oh, consequences, that's negative. No, that can be positive. It's action and reaction. And here I've said this before, okay? You're just teaching them that every action has a reaction. Every behavior has a consequence. So this is simple. It's common sense. That's why I teach common sense parenting. And let me give you an example. When we did the webinar Thursday night, I did a live chat at the end. And I had one mother say to me, what happens if I'm exhausted and I don't want to follow through? I said, simple, don't give a consequence. Don't give one. Use redirection, use distraction. Sit down with your child and talk. If you're not willing to give a consequence for that behavior, if you're so exhausted that you don't feel like you can follow through with it, don't do it in the first place. Because then you're teaching your child, if they can get away with it, they don't have to listen to you. And Yeah, you're going to have more problems in the future with your children. And you have to start this young. I've had people say, well, when they get a little older. No, 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 no. Yeah. When they get a little older, it's too late. And then you're going to really have problems on your hands. And you're going to go, well, and then I get parents going, my child's, 10 years old and talking back to me. Well, where did they think that was okay? When did they learn? See, you have to be in charge. You're a calm leader, and you follow through with you every single time. Every single time. What you say. Okay. You don't have to yell. Let me tell you, I had my grandson at the mall Friday. He's almost 4. And he's only been to the mall 3 times in his life, and every time I've taken him because his parents don't take him. He didn't even know what a mall was. We were driving past last year, 5 minutes from his house. He's like, what is that big building over there? I said, that's a mall. And he's like, what's a mall? His mother loves Amazon. Let me just put it that way. Anyway, so I've taken him 3 times. Once last year, and then last 2 Fridays I've taken him for a little bit. So this Friday we were in there for like 3 hours. We had lunch. We played. We went up and down elevator, escalator, over and over and over again. We had a cookie. He went in some play places. He rode on some rides. I mean, we had a packed 3 hours of fun. Now it's time to go. And I said, hey, buddy, 5 minutes and we're out. All right, buddy, 2 minutes and we're out. So it's time to leave. I take his hand, we start walking away, and he pulls back. He tries to pull back. He said, no, I want to go on those rides. I said, you did those already. Told you it's time to go. We're leaving now. But no, I want to go. So I picked him up. I started walking. Then he was getting heavy, so I put him down, and then he started to run a little bit. And I grabbed his arm, and I said, listen, here's the deal. We did everything today. We had a lot of fun together. You rode those rides. If you choose to keep acting like this and not walking out with me, we're leaving, and I won't ever bring you back here. And he just looked at me. I said, I won't ever bring you back here. Now, I would have followed through on that. I could have said, I won't bring you back here next week, or, we won't do it again for a month. But I was like, no, I'm not bringing you back here. If this is how you're going to act. He stopped instantly. He just looked at me. He knew I meant it. Walked to the car, not another word. We had no problems. But I was willing to follow through on that. I would not have taken him back. But if you're not willing to do that stuff, don't say that. Okay? All right, let's recap it. It's consistency, connection, structures and routines, calm leadership, and follow through. Okay, hopefully this recorded. If not, we'll try it again, maybe later in the week. But here's what I want you to do. Next week, we're going to talk about what do you do when you have a toddler who resents the new baby in the house. Because I've had some questions about that lately, and I thought that would be a great topic. Give you some strategies of how you can handle that. Okay, I'm heading out. I don't know if it's recorded. I don't know if I can end this thing. But anyway, remember, hug and love your babies.